Hi, everyone, and welcome back to episode 36 of the Simply Won't podcast. I'm your host, Colin. I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
How we doing, everybody?
We're just a couple of best friends who are passionate about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, TV shows, or even the occasional comic, then we've got the show for you.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
we haven't
man.
done a comic in a while.
No, I know.
We were talking about that last couple episodes.
Honestly, this week we were supposed to, if we had done what we said we were going to and seen Black Adam last week, we'd be doing Black Panther comics this week. But we just didn't. So
maybe we could do another mini-sode.
Maybe we'd have to squeeze one in. Yeah,
I mean that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd be down. But yeah, so kind of cat out of the bag there. We did break down and go see Black Adam.
Yeah.
Put our money where our mouth was. We're like 4 weeks late. It released on the 21st of October. But, we made it.
Yeah.
There was like us and like four of the people in the theater because we're about 4 weeks late.
Yeah. And we kept our opinions very much to ourselves.
Yeah.
We did not say
I think we've got ideas of what the other one thinks, but we might be totally wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I made sure I didn't say nothing.
No,
before, I was like, let's head out.
I know. I was kind of looking over at you, trying to see if you would look at me and like give me anything.
No,
and then when you didn't,
I saw
I
you.
was like, all right, then I won't either.
Yeah, I kept my eyes straight.
So we're going to give our, as I put it here, incredibly lukewarm takes since we're about a month out.
Yeah.
On that, as well as shoveling through a decent amount of news, actually.
Oh, okay. I always like it when we have a lot of news.
I do too. I don't, but I do. I don't because there's a lot of pre-work that I have to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's nice because it's like, oh wow, we got a lot to dig into. One of these I don't know that you've seen, honestly, now that I think about it. There was a second trailer for Glass Onion that came out.
I don't think I've seen Glass Onion second trailer.
Yeah.
No, that was the menu that we saw at the theater.
Yeah. So, on the news, we've got oodles of casting news. We got trailers for both Glass Onion and Avatar: Way of the Water. The newest video game that's getting adapted into live action. And we got an official release date for The Last of Us on HBO.
Yeah, we did.
And there's the potential for hold on to your fucking balls, Chris. There's potential for
hold on. Shoot.
A AAA John Wick video game.
No way. You're what?
No, I'm not.
You're fucking with me.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're ready,
dude, I'm ready to dive
in.
I did not hear that, bro.
Yeah.
I'm ready to dive in.
That's what I'm here for. So, in casting news, we've learned that multiple large names are joining the cast of Star Wars: The Acolyte, which includes. Let me grab the full list here because there was actually quite a few names here.
Ron Jeremy, number one.
Just right off the top. Legendary, horrendous man and porn star Ron Jeremy. The absolute goblin king that is Ron Jeremy.
Hey, man.
Pretty sure he got in a lot of trouble for like intentionally infecting people with AIDS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah. Hey, bada, you know what I mean?
Swing
what a
and a
monster.
bada.
So, for those that don't know, The Acolyte, I think this is when I was reading, this is the first time I've seen like an actual description for the series, where everything else that I've read has been super, super vague, where it was like, something street level in the High Republic.
Sure.
This actually says it's a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. A former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated.
Bum, bum, bum.
So, the cast list is massive here. So we've got, right off the top, Carrie-Anne Moss from The Matrix and Jessica Jones. Daphne Keane from Logan. She played X-23.
Oh, yeah.
Rebecca Henderson from Russian Doll. I don't know if you ever saw that one. That's kind of a pretty cool series. I think it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. I've seen it on Netflix. I just haven't watched it yet.
Kind of a dark Groundhog Day.
Okay.
And then Dean Charles Chapman from Game of Thrones in 1917. So in 1917, he's who you think is going to be the main character.
Oh,
before he, spoiler alert, gets stabbed and killed. And he plays Tomlin, I believe, in Game of Thrones. He's like Joffrey's younger brother. And then Amanda Stenberg from The Hate U Give and The Hunger Games. She plays Rue in The Hunger Games.
I remember seeing something where she, like, something came out saying that she was going to be in, like, either, like, a bunch of stuff or something. I just remember hearing the actress who played Rue.
Yeah.
It is making
I think we've brought her up before. And I don't remember what it was about, but it was another. I don't believe it was this because in this article it's kind of like that was news that she was going to be in this. But you figure they're joining an already pretty decent cast with. We reported on it a while back. Lee Jung Jae from Squid Game is going to be an acolyte.
Yeah.
As well as Charlie Barnett, who is also in Russian Doll. And then Jodie Turner-Smith from Queen and Slim is going to be in this thing. So,
rock on.
And apparently it has started production in the UK. So probably within the next 2 years we'll see it.
So it's going to be all about like the end of the High Republic?
Yeah.
So that's going to be like the earliest that we'll see.
The furthest in the past of this world that we'll see like on
I kind of
screen.
like how we're getting more and more like earlier
Fleshed
in
out.
time.
Yeah.
Like with like a lot of the Tales from the Jedi. It talks about like Dooku and Qui-Gon
when he was
and
still a
everything like
Jedi.
that. Yeah. I still have to finish that.
Yeah.
But no, I like how they still keep going back instead of making it farther in the future.
Yeah,
They're like, you know what? Like,
how much can we fit between episode 3 and 4?
Right.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh my god.
So like this, like, you know, all the characters that we know and love, like Dooku,
Yeah.
you know, or like Mace Windu. I'd love to know more about him that we don't really have too much information about.
And depending on how far back of this, we might get a young Yoda. You know what I mean?
Dude, Yoda, like,
Because he's like, what, 900 years old
something like that.
when he dies? So, I mean.
Still got it in him to clap with Yaddle.
Yeah. He's hitting it. No, that's vulgar. That is crass. Yeah, he's just pumping. He is piping. But no, so yeah, I'm excited for the Acolyte. It sounds good.
Yeah.
I like all the cast and like we talked about the premise and the setting and all that. At least like we made the joke during Andor, which we have to catch up. We didn't watch this week's episode.
We're bad.
We made the joke about just the
The
Mandalorian
Mandalorian.
just showing up and going, what the fuck? He wasn't even around right now. What is this? You know? You're like, what? Yeah, because God loved the Mandalore, but why was he in just the middle of fucking Boba Fett? And it just turned into the Mandalorian season 2.5.
Or season 2.5.
But oh, son of a bitch. But yeah, Dave Filoni is not directly involved in this one, so we probably won't see
Good.
Ahsoka or the Mandalorian somehow. But in other casting news, Daniel Kaluuya is going to be entering the Spider-Verse for Across the Spider-Verse, at least part 1, as Spider-Punk.
Ooh, Spider-Punk's a cool one.
Yeah, he's got like the
studs, and then he's got the studded bracelets on him. He's got like the Converse, the jean jacket.
Yeah. So that's
he's
pretty cool.
dope.
Not a lot known other than, he's going to be playing that character.
Yeah.
Obviously, it might be similar to like a Spider-Ham where he doesn't have much of a part to play, but he's in it.
He's cool. It's cool to be like...
it's cool that he's there.
Yeah. I'm curious on like how his fighting style is going to be with him being so like you think that they're going to incorporate something like of a different fighting style.
Figure Spider-Man Noir was very like fisticuff,
killing Nazis back in the 20s or 20s 40s
just Nazis, early adopters. They were Nazis before Nazis were cool. So Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Who is known for portraying Black Manta in Aquaman, as well as his role in HBO's Watchmen series, is in serious talks. So, like, not confirmed, but all but confirmed, basically, to be the title role for Disney's Wonder Man series that we talked about a while back.
Yeah.
Where, Wonder Man's like the movie star who's also superpowered.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of, like, okay, let's do some more Hollywood stuff because, like, Jen Walters is in LA, so maybe there's some overlap there, as well as they're getting Ben Kingsley back again to be, I can't think of his character's name, but the fake Mandarin.
The
actor. I can't think of it. But
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Because he was in Shang-Chi as well.
Okay.
Which Daniel Destin Cretton, who did Shang-Chi, is at least, I don't think he's the showrunner, but I think he's like the executive producer and helping write the Wonder Man series.
Okay.
So, I'm cool.
Yeah.
And then one that I was like, oh, shit. So it kind of has a bit of overlap for me. Aubrey Plaza is entering the MCU by way of Agatha Coven of Chaos. And so...
It was Agatha
all along. So, yeah, there's no news on what her role will consist of, honestly.
Sure.
It's just that Aubrey Plaza will be in that show.
Sure.
Which is enough for me.
Enough to get me going.
Enough to get me in there. Because I love Aubrey Plaza in Parks and Rec. And then Catherine Hahn, obviously, as Agatha is perfect. Yeah, and I mean they have a bit of on-screen time in Parks and Rec, so it'll be kind of funny to see them back together.
Yeah.
As potentially very different roles. Yeah, that's all I got for them. Thoughts on any of the casting news there?
No, I'm excited, especially for that Star Wars. I'm excited to see, basically what I was already saying. I was just seeing earlier, so, getting to see cooler characters or the High Republic, when there were a bunch of Jedi and a bunch of Sith.
Yeah, just full open warfare.
Right, and so I'm excited to see, maybe a little more tease about that, as well as, what do you think people, not Force sensitive? What do you think it was like for them with it being so
prevalent?
Right.
Yeah, and I know that there's been a lot of talks for, Rian Johnson is still doing a trilogy apparently, even though like we've always talked about, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff that's just off the schedule now. But apparently his trilogy of films is still in the works. Taika Waititi still has a movie in the works, and I believe Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have a movie that they're going to do together.
Okay.
And so there's been talks of doing a Knights of the Old Republic, or anything like that. They could do High Republic era stuff. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe have the Acolyte lead into, since it's the fall of the High Republic.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
I want to see the High Republic at its peak.
Yeah, show me they're just flushed with just
puss,
just Force sensitive punani. We got second official trailers for both Avatar: The Way of the Water and Glass Onion. I thought Avatar looked like a good action movie.
It keeps getting better and better. Every trailer, every new update.
With I don't think you talk about a game. Oh shit! This next update, dude. I heard they patched out. You understand me, Joe Rogan? But no, I don't know that it's going to live up to the expectations that it's being set for itself. As far as Avatar is the highest grossing film of all time still. I don't think this is going to do that. The climate's different, man. Back then, the reason why it did so well is because, first of all, 3D tickets were so ungodly expensive. And second of all, it released in December and nothing else was out. And it ran for 12 weeks at the box office undisturbed. That's not the state of things anymore.
I mean, you also got to think the reputation that it holds right now. Everyone who, I bet you there's going to be so many people just going to see it, because oh my God, Avatar, back in it came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Right. So oh my God, the second one since 2009 and, probably make a lot of money.
Or the opposite. It's been so long, and I don't think it has lasting power like a Star Wars, where time makes Star Wars more successful. I think time might hurt this one, where it's
we'll see.
Avatar wasn't as impactful for being the number one movie.
We'll see.
It's not culturally significant like Star Wars or something like that. What are you fucking? I wish people could see his face. He looks personally offended.
We'll just have to put a pin in it. I guess we'll have to come back when the movie comes out.
He signed the fucking script for Avatar.
That's cool, man. It's just whatever, man.
It's just fucking Pocahontas with blue people, dude. I don't know why it's so special.
That fucking blue people, dude. They can take their tails and become part of the animal.
Yeah, they fuck by touching ponytails.
If that ain't fucking, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, if that ain't connection, I don't know what is. And you haven't seen the trailer for Glass Onion, so
correct.
Look pretty good. No, I'm excited for it. I love seeing Daniel Craig have a lot of fun as Benoit Blanc, where he's just chewing up scenery, Yeah. And the real thick Southern drawl. and in this trailer, I never. I love when he's at the end of the first one, he's giving all the speech about how there was a hole in the center of this donut, and then there was a piece of donut that fit that hole perfectly. A donut hole in that donut hole size hole. But then when you look a little further, that donut hole has a hole in its center. And you're like, what the fuck is he talking about?
What are you going on about, guy?
And no, the cast in this one seems to all be having a lot of fun. Really full of charisma and character. All of them, even you've got Kate Hudson in there. Fucking, what's his name? Dave Bautista is really going for it. I almost said Edward Snowden. But Ed Norton is having a really good time in it looks like too. And yeah, I'm excited for it.
Good, yeah.
So I talked about a live action adaptation of a video game. It is Netflix has announced that it's creating a Gears of War film, which will be followed by an adult animated series. And they've stated that if those are successful for them, they would love to tell more stories in that universe. And so, yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that apparently they are working closely with the original developers of Gears of War to, like, you know, hopefully keep it true to that. I never got to play them because they were Xbox exclusives, and I never had an Xbox. But there's no producers or filmmakers attached to it.
Tell you why you didn't have Xbox. Because it's trash.
You had an Xbox 360. What are you talking about? You had an Xbox One.
I had an Xbox One.
Yeah.
I had that for Red Dead, and then I got the PS4.
Yeah.
Now I have PC.
Your life has been changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've seen the light. No producers or filmmakers are attached to either of the projects right now. So it's just strictly an announcement of, we have intent to do this. Mm-hmm. We've purchased the rights to do this. HBO revealed that the official release date for the premiere episode of upcoming The Last of Us series will be Sunday, January 15th, with the first season containing 9 episodes. So that'll get us into March. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've got such high expectations for this.
Yeah.
And
Look at me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like hard eye contact right over the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Gas or Pass. Gas. Like, it's just plain and simple. Plain and simple.
There's no way around it. It's gas.
Can't beat around the bush on this.
We'll watch it be pretty mid.
We both come back and
I'll be ill. Like, I'll have to call off work. I'm like, I can't come in, guys. It was just okay.
I'm just sick to my stomach.
Sick to my gut. Yeah, like, oh, man, what's going on? The Last of Us was mid. Like, what?
Man, we got to close the store.
Yeah.
Close up shop, man.
Is this not a holiday? Like a legal holiday? A day of remembrance? But, yeah, that's happening. And a bunch of the, like, obviously the cast members were tweeting stuff out about it, and we got to see, like, what the poster's going to be, and it looks pretty cool. And I liked Troy Baker, who plays Joel in the game, tweeted and it said, you know, it has everything to do with that little girl. You know, yeah, man. And apparently he and Ashley Johnson are both in the show, like in an episode together.
Sure.
And so I thought that was pretty cool that they got to be in it somehow. Because, like, he does not look like Joel.
Right.
He was never going to be Joel. And she doesn't look like Ellie because she's an almost 40-year-old woman.
Right.
You know.
But it's kind of like with Uncharted when they got the actor who voiced Nathan Drake.
Chris Nolan.
Yeah,
not Chris Nolan. Nolan North.
Mm-hmm. And, laying on the little chair thing.
Yeah.
He goes, I did something like that once. And they're like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, which, weird degrees of separation there. Except not that weird because it's Naughty Dog. Nolan North plays the voice of David, the, like, cannibal. In the wintertime.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, Nathan Drake is the same voice actor as David.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is funny, but the only reason why that's super funny to me is because, like, Nathan Drake isn't a voice. It's just what Nolan North sounds like.
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
Do you think he gets recognized?
Yeah. There's, like, 2 or 3 voice actors in video games that are like, I know that guy by face. Mm-hmm. It's like Troy Baker, Nolan North. That's pretty much it.
The guy who plays Trevor from GTA. Because that's a spitting image. Yeah.
Yeah, they did the mocap, so it's like it's also him. The art's based on him. But yeah. And now you're going to glass over here probably, but this was super geeky for me. This came out today. I saw it on Twitter and was like, So BioWare teased Mass Effect 5, which they teased it last year or the year before. They teased it the year prior. I think not last December, but the December before, where like they showed a brief little trailer, and it wasn't like Mass Effect 5 or anything like that. It just said like Mass Effect will return, right? Mm-hmm. And then they did the remastered, the Legendary Collection is what they called it, and I played them. I played them all. But they actually, today was like N7 day, which is like a significant thing in the game. And so they actually revealed some concept art that was released as like a short video of like just like a motion image, basically. And it was concept art of a mass relay being built or repaired. And so they had a tweet along with it that said, "Happy N7 Day from across the stars. We found this interesting footage you may want to take look a bit more closely. And then fans quickly like uncovered a message inside the video through like either like spectrogram audio and things like that. But there's an audio message inside the video that is Liara Tassoni, who's like a mainstay character from the games. She's kind of like one of your potential love interests.
Sure.
And she's saying the council will be furious, although they should know by now not to underestimate human defiance. So one of the endings to Mass Effect 3 is that you destroy all the mass relays, which are like the galaxy's method of faster than light travel. It's how you get around the galaxy. The mass relays are the reason why there's like an intergalactic, basically like council and things like that. And so one of the endings is you destroy those, and by proxy you destroy the Reapers, which are like the bad guys, right? And so the image along with the message seems to maybe imply that in the next Mass Effect games,
that's
one of the concept
ending.
is like, yeah, that's the true ending, I guess. And then the humans maybe are rebuilding the mass relays. And for the council's not happy because the Reapers used the mass relays to come to our galaxy and try and kill everybody. So maybe they're like, oh, son of a bitch, you know?
Yeah.
We told you not to build that, you know? And so I do wonder with Liara being a part of it, if they'll bring the main character, Commander Shepard, back, because he dies at the end of the third game.
Okay.
But he dies at the end of, or at the beginning of the second game. So it's like, well, he's come back before,
right.
But how many times are you going to do that, you know? But I don't know, man. I'm super excited.
I'd still like to play it.
Yeah, like I've got the Legendary Collection. You ought to try them out. They are a time sink because they're pretty big games.
Right.
But they're worth it. And then here you go, the one for you, baby. I did one for me, one for you. Lionsgate CEO John Feldheimer mentioned during an earnings call that the company has been discussing proposals for a AAA game based on the world of their John Wick franchise. So his quote was, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but we believe there is a big AAA game to be made out of John Wick. He goes on to say, we've been fielding proposals. We certainly are interested in moving that forward, but I don't want to say anything more about that at this time. So nothing concrete other than he thinks there's something there, and they're hearing proposals about it.
I think it'd be really cool to have it like as an MMO, you know, first person, and you are your own assassin, right? And you have like places like the Continental, which can be a hub where you can meet up with maybe like up to 4 people, you know, or you can do solo, but like almost like I almost want to say like GTA style. But not like with the heists. Like you strictly have to go to the Continental to get jobs, everything like that. Right. And then from there, you'll be able to like, you know, customize a car, or just weapons.
do an open world RPG. I don't think it has to be because like John Wick pretty much works alone until he like absolutely has to.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is you don't have to work with someone. You can be alone, or you can go with people. You know, anything like that.
I get very cautious around the word MMO, where I'm like, that just doesn't work most of the time anymore, I don't think. Where they're like, how can we monetize the fuck out of this? You know, I mean, you get an Avengers, right? Or what was the fucking one that was from where it was like looked like Iron Man the game, and you're flying around and taking missions. I can't think of what it was called, but it was a complete flop. I worry. Where it's like they saw Destiny do really well as like a games as a service.
Sure.
And then they're like, oh my God, we got to figure out how to do that with this, you know? But I do think the general concept of building it around the Continental makes sense. And you being your own assassin.
Right. Yeah. You don't need to be
You don't need to be John Wick.
We know everything about John Wick.
I honestly think the world is more interesting than John Wick.
I would agree. I can 100% agree.
You can put any movie or any character in those movies.
And it would be fascinating.
Just as interesting. Yeah. John's not the because he's pretty much a blank character for the most part, as far as like his main motivation is revenge, and he is a guy who's very skilled. Okay.
Determination and the pure fucking will. He killed a man with a pencil.
a fucking pencil.
Who the fuck does that?
Yeah. But yeah, so I like the idea of it, and I do like to hear that like the CEO is straight up like to hear a film production company like recognize the potential for money there.
I would want like deadass. I want to be able to customize my character, like his wardrobe, because you know damn well I'm going to be dressing up like John Wick though, like suit and tie.
Everybody will be
exactly.
Where it's like, I guess we just got a bunch of guys in suit and ties now. Like,
well, like I don't know, like I could see. I can't remember what his name was, but it was the guy from John Wick 2. the bald guy, and fights him in the train, and then he ends up stabbing him in the chest.
Yeah.
And he had like street attire on that looked really clean and good. And I was like, I could see like, depending on like,
or like
what's
the people that work at the Continental that are like the weird cross of like pinup and goth.
Yeah.
you know? But yeah, anything like that would be pretty cool. Let me switch up here. I'm getting fancy this week. I'm using my iPad to do some of the stuff here, but I rarely use my iPad. I look like a grandfather when I do. I'm like, how do I do that?
how do I get to Google?
Where's my video at? All right,
I need Candy Crush.
I'm all out of hard candies. So let's talk about Black Adam.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start off how we always do. The reception. The Rotten Tomato critic score is wildly different from the rest of the scores.
Okay.
So the Rotten Tomato critic score was 40%. So the critics did not like it. The audience score was an 89. The IMDb score, which is audience-based, was a 7.1. And the Metacritic score for the critics was a 40, or 45. But the audience score was a 7.5 out of 10. So there's a division between the critics and the fans, but there's a consensus there of like the fans really seemed to enjoy it, and then the critics just did not.
Yeah,
but I do think there's a lot of critics that just don't like superhero movies. So sometimes with the superhero movies, you do have to kind of take a grain of salt. Performance-wise, as far as money goes, it has so far, like I said, it came out on October 21st. It's made $137.1 million domestically and $321.8 million in total on a budget of $195 to $200 million. So like I always talk about, you sometimes have to double that for marketing. So it hasn't broken even yet, potentially. Which I was reading something from, I think it was Dwayne Johnson and like a producer or a writer of the movie saying that a sequel is likely if it can cross $400 million.
Right.
Would be like their, okay. All right. Yeah. There's something there, you know? Because like Shazam, I don't think did well at first at the box office, but it's getting a sequel. So it might be a slow creep where actually people did turn out to it eventually.
Sure. It's a slow burn.
Yeah. Because I do think there's some of that with DC in general of like, they don't have a lot of goodwill, with a fan base. So if they do release something good, it has to take a little time for people to go, actually, that was good. Actually, like you should have checked that out, and you're like, oh, okay. So Chris, you got a synopsis over there?
Yeah,
you do, don't you? You do, don't you? And I bet it's from IMDb, isn't it?
It is, man. Nearly 5,000 years after he was bestowed with the almighty powers of Egyptian gods and imprisoned just as quickly, Black Adam is freed from his earthly tomb, ready to unleash the unique form of justice on the modern world.
Justice.
I'm not a monster.
I'm just ahead of the curve. I'm like a dog chasing cars. I don't know what to do. What if I caught it?
If I were caught.
So yeah, the cast is Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam, which this has actually been like a long time coming for him as like a passion project, where I think he was attached to this as early as like 2007 or 2009. I believe he was cast before Henry Cavill was cast as Superman.
Oh wow!
And so this has been like a hard road to hoe for him. Of like, we got to get this fucking movie made, man. Yeah. But so you do like to see that he stayed attached to it and like,
sure,
I want to make this thing, right? Aldous Hodge plays Hawkman. Pierce Brosnan plays Dr. Fate. Noah Centineo, who I didn't recognize, plays Atom Smasher. He had like a vaguely familiar face, but I don't know what I know him from.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. Cyclone was played by Quintessa Swindell. And Sarah Shahi is Adriana Tomas, who's like the main human character, main character as far as just a regular person. She's kind of the point of view character. Yeah. The normie. Let's see. I'm trying to find her brother. Muhammad Amer plays Kareem. And then I don't know what the son's name was. Samir?
Yeah.
Yeah, Samir's played by James Kusati Moyer. So, to the film's credit, a lot of the, because it's like a vaguely Middle Eastern country, and a lot of the cast are legitimately Middle Eastern descent.
Yeah.
So yay representation.
Absolutely.
So let me flip back here using my fancy iPad.
I'm looking for my Candy Crush.
I need my jitterbug. I can't see the buttons.
Where's Facebook?
How do I push the buttons? It's a touchscreen, Grandpa. What do I touch? The button. There's no buttons. It's a screen. Oh, God, Jesus.
That's fucking
I swear to God, Grandpa.
Grandpa, it's 4 a.m.
Quit goofing around. So, I honestly kept my my plot thoughts quite brief. So, spoiler-free plot thoughts. You want to run them, or you want me to run them?
I'll run. You run yours first.
All right. So I said it was a pretty basic story, which remains largely unattached from the greater DC universe, which I didn't necessarily think was a bad thing. It didn't do much new, even going as far as stealing some things straight out of other comic book movies.
Oh,
yeah. I liked that I liked a lot of the action scenes in it. I thought, when there was action going on, I was pretty entertained and into it. I felt that the character was reasonably callous and unfeeling, and they kind of did a Terminator 2 thing with him, I feel. That's all I've got for my spoiler-free plot thoughts.
So, for my...
I do have characters and chemistry, but...
Yeah, so I have more for that. For spoiler-free plot, kind of in the same boat. We've seen it before.
Yeah, it wasn't
nothing new, right? There are certain things which I'll get into as soon as it hits spoiler that I did enjoy, as well as like certain things I didn't enjoy.
Yeah.
I will say, the CGI wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. There were a couple moments where I'm like,
that was a little wonky.
Yeah, but for the most part, I was like, especially for like Atom Smasher.
Yeah,
I was like, this actually isn't bad, but it did the way that the mask was.
Yeah, it was a little
reminded
Deadpool.
me of Deadpool a lot.
Yeah,
and I was like, and
apparently because I saw on Reddit, that's what that character's mask looks like.
Oh, is exactly like that one.
Is like that one. So yeah, it's like, well, Marvel and DC have always copied one or the other.
Sure.
Dr. Fate and Doctor Strange both exist. You know what I mean?
We'll be talking about Dr. Fate. We'll be talking about Dr. Fate. We'll be talking about Dr. Fate, bro. Like, yeah, we'll be back on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for plot, it wasn't anything new. It's just kind of like all right, yep, we know this. We know how this is going to go. Yeah, we've seen it before.
Yeah. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't surprising. It wasn't new, but it wasn't like, I never felt myself going, Jesus, I've seen this one before.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, brother.
Is that what you had for plot?
Yeah.
Okay. Characters and chemistry. I liked the uncle.
Yeah.
Kareem a lot.
Yeah, dude, he was a good comedic relief.
Yeah. And then I thought the mom and the son were kind of annoying.
I think we have very similar thoughts.
Yeah. The mom and the son really kind of...
They got on my nerves a lot.
Yeah,
it felt a lot of... Are we in spoilers now?
No.
Ooh,
we haven't rated this thing yet.
Okay.
Black Adam really didn't have much of a personality, but that was kind of his personality, which kind of leads back to my thing of like they kind of did a Terminator 2 with him. It wasn't too jokey for me. I know that you were kind of worried about that.
Yeah. Surprisingly,
there was some comedy in it.
I'll chew on my words a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was the biggest problem.
No.
In the movie.
No.
Because like during it, they took out the eyebrow raise from the trailer, versus in the real movie, as well as the Wilhelm scream. They got it's not in there.
Yeah. That was definitely that was like either cut entirely or that was the trailer company.
It could have been, but like I was glad that it wasn't. And I thought Dwayne Johnson was going to make a lot more jokes than he did. Yeah. And there was a couple, that I was like, okay, that's good time, or I see where it fit.
Yeah, it wasn't out of place.
I mean, and then I did like the chemistry between Cyclone and Atom Smasher. Like I felt like it was, obviously Atom Smasher is very new to this, right? And
they
he's
both
like
were young,
right? And she's been doing this for a little longer than right. And he's got the hots for her, obviously.
A weird little cameo from Henry Winkler. Just making Henry Winkler the original Atom Smasher.
Yeah, like, yeah. You know, be careful with the
Uncle
suit.
Al.
Don't
Yeah.
stain it. It's vintage.
It's vintage, yeah.
And then Dr. Fate and Hawkman. I enjoy their chemistry too. Yeah. Obviously, there's something before all of this. They've worked together multiple times.
Yeah, they're like, because they're the JSA, so it's the Justice Society of America.
Yeah,
and that's something that I think on a grander scale, as far as like DC versus Marvel, I do think that DC does a better job of going, this world has just existed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Where Marvel is like, every hero that you meet is like, well, because it's the first time the audience is seeing them, it's the first time they've existed.
Right.
You know, whereas
rather than this one,
DC's
it's like,
yeah, heroes just exist.
Yeah.
Even as far as the Sun makes a comment of like the superhero industrial complex.
Yeah.
Which, you know, like, yeah, you know, kind of like like The Boys, you know, where there's a business around. Because like there are comics in this and action figures of actual heroes in this universe, which is kind of interesting. Where
it's like all the Batman and Superman
like,
posters.
Is Batman getting royalties? You know what I mean? Or are they just not? And because of his secret identity, he has to just fucking eat the loss on that. You know what I mean?
What a chump.
Yeah, it's fucking Bruce Wayne is a billionaire, and he's like, "There's fucking money on the table there." You know, he just can't stand it.
He's hungry for it.
Oh fuck! But
I want it.
Look at all the money that could be made on lunchboxes. So no, I really liked most of the Justice Society and their interplay, like you talked about.
Yeah.
And then I wanted more of all all of them.
Yeah, I do too.
The Justice Society, I think, was a lot of the bright spot for me.
Yeah. That's really all I had for characters and chemistry without getting into spoilers.
I'm ready to rate it. How do we rate things here?
So you can always rate it overwhelming, which means you were thoroughly enjoyed with the film. You can rate it underwhelming, which means you're really disappointed with it. What didn't meet up to your expectations, or you can be in the middle and just be simply whelmed.
Yeah. So, do you want to do like a 1, 2, 3, or do you want to go first? How do you? I went back and forth with myself a lot on this one.
Let's do a 1, 2, 3.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Simply whelmed.
I was overwhelmed.
You were really overwhelmed?
Yeah, barely. The reason I went back and forth on myself was I didn't know if I was overwhelmed because my expectations were so low. You know what I mean? But I feel like in the movie I found myself having fun more than I didn't.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I have more, like when I think about it, I always talk about, and I don't know if I've ever brought this up on the podcast, but it wouldn't surprise me if I did. I think superhero movies have to have like moments, you know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, when Thor arrives on Wakanda, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or in the Batman, when the intro, you know, his speech, things like that, you know. The Dark Knight, you've got the hospital or whatever, right? There's always the moment, right? And some of the bad superhero movies just don't really have a moment. Where you're like, oh, fuck, it was all worth that, you know? And I think, like with some of the JSA fighting Black Adam and things like that, I think there were more moments for me that I go, oh, that was pretty fun, versus, oh, brother, you know?
My thing is...
And I never found myself sternly disliking it.
Which we'll get into it. I feel like that movie had a big moment where I was... Oh, brother. Like,
well, so, I mean, we're in spoilers. Was it the Quicksilver scene?
Quicksilver?
Yeah, where they straight up play an 80s song and go in hyper slow motion.
Oh, no, it wasn't that.
Because that made me go, Jesus, fuck. Not a great intro for me.
For me, it was the part where, like, you know, at the very end when, what's his name? The antagonist, not...
Yeah, Ishmael.
When he, sits on the throne, everything like that, and then like all these people are just covered in blood, right? And this little kid's like, "Quick, put your hands up."
That was pretty. Yeah.
And I was like, "Dude!" And then that one civilian's like, well, "What are we waiting for?
We got it." Yeah,
I'm like, bro, I'm waiting for
cringe.
the fucking paramedics, dude. My legs are gone. You
Yeah.
know, like
there's the dead have risen. Like
right, like I'm not.
This man's literally bringing hell on earth.
Yeah, and like I get what they're trying to do. You know, the liberty,
individuals, standing up for themselves.
And like I get it, but like
there might have been other ways to do it.
You could have done it better.
Yeah,
and that to me really sank in like a oh, this is not what I was not expecting to be this like bummed about that.
They could have cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what determined me
to be simply whelmed.
Yeah. If that was out, I would have said overwhelmed.
Yeah. So I think it's funny that we had like a eye conversation, because my first spoiler is Dr. Fate fucking carries.
dude,
like,
Dr. Fate was gas. I want to see so much more of Dr. Fate, and I was, spoiler alert,
he dies. Yeah.
And I was like, no fucking way.
I mean, even his helmet disappears. But I wonder, I mean, it's all illusion, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I wonder if, like, because they talk about that when he wears the helmet, he's fully possessed by some other being.
Right.
You know? So I wonder if Dr. Fate is like is there potential there? I don't know how his character works. I mean, I know
nothing about Dr. Fate. I know he's in Injustice 2.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
And so, like, maybe his character has the potential to come back through the helmet. I don't know how that works, I
don't care.
But they got to find a way.
But I need it.
But I do wonder if, like, because, like, it's Pierce Brosnan. Like, they got Pierce Brosnan, and he does a good job.
He killed that role.
And so I do wonder if part of how they got him in was like, there's no contract. You're in this one. We kill you. You know what I mean? Because he didn't want to fucking do a bunch of superhero movies.
Right.
But if they pay him well.
But I mean, yeah, that did really well. He played it really well as well.
Yeah.
In the part where he's sitting there, and he's, all about fate. And he goes, nothing's really up to us. It's all up to fate.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Hawkman. And he's like, but I do get, because he's telling him, the plan, and Hawkman's going to die, and they're trying to figure out how to avoid that.
How to get around that, yeah.
And Hawkman's like, well, I don't fear death. And he goes, and that's the problem. That's the issue we run into, is like, granted, you don't fear death, but like, I am a sentimental old man.
Yeah. I don't want to lose you.
And then I cast that big old, we'll talk about that, because that's, I don't want to jump back and forth.
Yeah. Because, I mean, my spoilers aren't heavily chronological. I thought Black Adam was pretty violent.
Yeah.
Which was cool.
That first scene, I will say, he melts that guy right in front of you, and you just see everything. And that's when I was like, "Oh, this is an adult movie."
And I liked seeing, in the background where they're trying to get out, seeing the fact that he doesn't even walk. You know what I mean? He was just hovering towards them. Mm-hmm. It felt very. I can't think what the movie was. James Gunn produced it. It was Brightburn. It was like, what if Superman was a bad, a problem child, basically. Right. I did think there was, that the violence made me go, apparently there was a rated R cut of this. I see why they took the rated R away from it, because it's already not making buku bucks, and if you make something rated R, you're limiting your audience more.
Yeah.
But it does make me go, oh man, I wonder what they did to change it. Was it gory? I would think maybe.
I imagine probably a little more gory with blood.
Because you've got a Superman level character.
But I mean, there's still that scene where Black Adam rips that guy's arm off, and you just see
him holding the arm,
his severed arm.
Yeah, and throwing a dude into the motor, the air bike thing.
Yeah,
and it just explodes into him. I'm like, hey, he's killing people. Yeah. And I did like that back and forth between he and the JSA of stop killing people, and he's like, no,
who's gonna stop me?
Yeah, exactly. No, you're not gonna stop me. And the fact that the citizens liked him, I thought that was an interesting wrinkle of that the JSA is supposed to be there to save the day. Yeah,
and they're booing
no,
them.
we like this guy.
We like Black Adam. He's doing instant change. Now.
Like they said, we've been under military occupation for 25 years, and
where have you been?
First time we see is when our hero shows up. That's an interesting question. I did think the pacing was a little bit off at times, where it's
it felt
it
very
slows down, and then all of a sudden we're in finale territory.
Yeah,
yeah. Where I could see Ishmael becoming the bad guy, but it was
because in the very beginning, she turns around and he's right there, giving some weird ass grin, and then dies.
Yeah, air quotes.
Air quotes, dies.
Yeah.
And then later is
revealed that he's
still alive.
The bad guy. Yeah. But dude, the JSA teaming up on Black Adam, I liked seeing that it took all of them to not beat him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that all of them were just going in on him. Dr. Fate's multiplying and holding him down, and yeah.
Dude.
Oh, when he does the
he drops the what is that?
It looks
that
like it almost
symbol?
looks like a glass sword.
No, it's like that cross. It's the Egyptian symbol.
I
I don't know what the symbol
don't know
is
what that's called, but yeah.
But it's like that, and then it just shatters into him, and
Yeah,
he was
basically stabbed through him and pins him down. But when he casts the illusion and makes the city look like what he would remember, and like completely distracts him, and then I like seeing Hawkman just come in out of
and he kind of looks and he goes, "What is that?"
coming
and
in out of
just,
fucking Maine, you know? Yeah, Hawkman was pretty dope.
Yeah, I liked Hawkman.
Because he's an alien,
I didn't know.
and so like all of his technology is alien technology. And I liked the JSA. I wanted more Cyclone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to see a lot
more Atom Smasher and Cyclone.
Yeah.
I didn't think either of them had a lot to do.
Yeah. With Atom Smasher, it did feel like a little bit like he's too much of a rookie.
Yeah.
And for
like, why is he on the team?
Yeah, the task that's at hand is like very.
You've got to go stop a Superman.
Correct. Yeah, and so
why is this guy on the team?
Yeah. So I'm not sure that I was a little confused about that, and there's a couple other like points in the plot where I was kind of like,
Are these the best you got?
Yeah. Well, it just like this. Yeah. This part didn't make sense because this happened. Why? Like a good example is like when they're flying, and it was after the uncle's name. I'm so sorry. Kareem. After Kareem got shot, right?
Yeah,
and, they're checking him out, and they're like, he's gonna be fine. And they're like, he should be back. No time. He'll be all right. And he comes back, and he's like, not hurt from the bullet wound, anything like that, which I get is like advanced technology.
Yeah, it was like the nanotech or
but
whatever.
Then it's like dropped.
Yeah.
Right. Like he says, like, don't worry, like electricity kills me, and then he starts.
I did like that joke though of Dr. Fate telling him,
electricity.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm an electrician. What is that supposed to mean? What am I supposed to do?
Yeah. I can see your future. This isn't how you die. And he's like, how do I die? And he's like, I can't tell you, but avoid electricity. Like, I'm an electrician. It's like, fuck.
I did feel like Kareem had good comedic reliefs with the baby come back.
Yeah.
He's driving the van.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to think of like, dude, Dr. Fate did fucking care. Like I'm like everything I say, dude.
It was dope, especially that end fight against him and Ishmael. I was like, my God, he is. I did want to see like more tricks.
Yeah, it felt like we saw
he multiplied. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Which is very Doctor Strange, but still looked good because it was a little different. Yeah. Because, they all have like the lasso and stuff. But these ones here, they're like crawl over each other to get on him. And I was like, these guys don't care about the other ones. They are trying to get him. Get to him. Yeah. And I thought that was very cool and new for that.
Yeah. I thought that it was probably the JSA was one of the more successful teams for DC as far as like on screen seeing them work as a team.
Yeah,
I had complete the mission. Yeah, and just in general of like they were fun to watch work. Yeah, where it's like, oh man, this is entertaining seeing like Hawkman and when they're all teaming up on Black Adam and and Atom Smasher comes running in to hit him with just a downward punch, and. Seeing Hawkman hit him with the 1-2, and just them all teaming up, and Cyclone was there and all that. It felt good to see all their powers come together, especially for a team that like this is the first time we're seeing them. You know, there wasn't like a build up payoff kind of thing.
I will say, we both said earlier we wanted to see more of Cyclone. Yeah, it just felt like I thought she was able to control like storms or like weather,
just wind.
Is it strictly just wind? Yeah. I'd still like to see a little more. I mean, because you could make a tornado. Right. Like, that's still an option. Like, why, all we saw was, like, she was gusting wind at people, like, make a tornado, bitch. Like, fucking...
go off, queen.
Like, I want to see it.
Make a cyclone. Yeah.
Drop it like a cyclone.
Got my body moving all night long. I did... I did, like, seeing the prison that they put him in.
Oh yeah, and you saw all
the other containment. Where you're like, oh, who else is down there?
Who else is down there?
Yeah, because again, it's that idea of like, I think that is a difference that they could take. I think there's a writing cheat that they could put in there of like, how do you catch up to Marvel? Is that you just put you in the middle of a world that already exists. Yeah, we don't have to have all the backstory. We'll just plop you in, and as we introduce characters, we'll give you their backstory.
Yep.
You know,
And that's, I think, completely okay.
yeah. And it made me go, okay, with James Gunn and Peter Safran at the helm,
There's potential.
I think this isn't a terrible jumping off point for them. I even put in the notes here because Dwayne Johnson made a comment on social media, I think, of like this being the first film of their phase 1 type thing, where they're kind of going for like a soft reboot. And I mean, it's not Iron Man, but it's a good. It's not a bad place to jump off.
It could have been worse.
Yeah,
it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, you're not jumping off from a stinker,
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
There's enough there to make me go, yeah, I want to see more of what's in this.
I'm gonna splash.
Yeah.
Jumping off in the pool, baby. There's gonna be some. There's gonna be some,
cannonball, bitches. You know, I'm coming in. I was like, what is?
There's gonna be some
I was
splash.
like, what is this metaphor you're doing? Here?
Jumping in the pool,
Gonna
baby.
Be
Yeah.
splash.
There's gonna be a big
Is
splash.
that a euphemism? What are you? I'm gonna splash.
I'm splashing.
I'm finna splash. Seeing Superman does make me wonder. So yeah, Superman's in the post credits. Does make me wonder, like, what the fuck is his timeline? You know what I mean? Like, did the Justice League happen?
It also sounds like that Superman's currently working with the JSA.
Yeah,
Because she sends in the drone and she's like, you know, we have.
or he's just working for Amanda Waller, which
That could be it.
makes me wonder because, like,
I thought Amanda Waller was like.
kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Where,
she
she operates outside of the rules. You know,
Right.
Her moral compass is we have a job to do by any means necessary.
Kill these people.
You know?
Like, yeah, it doesn't matter. If
Yeah.
you can't do it, oh well.
Yeah, we'll get the next guy. And and so I did like that. Like, you know, they kind of name drop a little, like, lightly, Task Force X, which is the Suicide Squad. But the Task Force X is just what they call that division. Basically, the Suicide Squad is a revolving door of expendable villains.
Right.
You know, as they die, you just get more, which makes me wonder if that's what that containment facility is, or if that's where they keep the ones that they can't control. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm almost curious do you think they have, like, do you think we'll see an appearance of, like, Reverse Flash?
Probably.
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're at
And
a
they
spot
could probably
where,
put it under the same premise of, like, as long as we keep them submerged, there's not a whole lot he can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like that idea of, like, okay, how do we stop this person from using their powers? We fill a tank full of water and put a tube in his throat.
Yeah.
You know, so he cannot speak. He physically cannot use his powers. And I thought that was not bad CGI of making Dwayne Johnson a normal person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
But
I didn't think it was
funny
too
that
bad.
They had to, like, make him look like a normal man.
I will say what I liked is, like, they found somebody who still had, like, a broader set of shoulders, but still not muscular at all.
Yeah, it didn't look odd.
Right.
It wasn't like Chris Evans said, you know, in the first Captain America.
And a little tiny body.
Yeah. It was just a normal dude.
But, I mean, yeah, honestly,
Where
like,
Dwayne Johnson is an alien.
Dwayne Johnson's acting
wasn't bad.
upset me at all.
No, I didn't think he played Dwayne Johnson.
And that's what I was. That's what I was worried about. I was expecting that to happen, and it didn't.
I do think he played the Terminator in Terminator 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The
like,
character was very
I'm unfeeling, and then this kid is teaching me how to be a little bit more human.
Human.
You know,
Yeah.
like I did like the running gag of, like, the kid trying to make him a superhero.
A superhero, and he's like, yes, make sure you say your punchline.
You gotta say your punchline. And he, like, kills somebody, and it's like, telling the man in black sent you. And he says it at the kid, and the kid's like, no, you gotta tell the guy before you kill him.
And they look over,
like,
and he's dead.
Yeah, and he's like, oh. And then he tries to tell the guy, but he dies before he can finish his...
Make sure the guy in black...
Yeah, tell the man in black sent you. And he's like, and then he finally nails it as he rips the devil in half down the middle. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
Telling the man in black sent you. He just... rips him in half down the center. I was like, all right.
That scene with rising up.
Could have cut
killed
that.
it.
But the thing for me is, like, I think you were more whelmed than you think you were, because that's one scene. If you cut that scene out, I think you enjoyed the movie. And that would be an easy scene to cut around.
It's like, yeah, but it's like, it's that. It had a lot of potential, and it just tanked it. Because in the very beginning, when you see the guys, the military, with the guns,
which was a weird,
checking out, like, the van and everything. Yeah. I was like, I thought it was going somewhere, right? Like, why are they? Obviously we know why they're there. Like, how's this gonna? And then it's just like, we never saw anything again, and they were just kind of gone after the dead was risen. Yeah, it's like, well,
Yeah, make them the thing you're
right. It's like
rising up
now we're
against.
just fighting these zombies, and the zombies are gone. We're free. Mm-hmm. It's like, well,
Yeah. Oh no, the intergang's still there.
right.
But they've got Black Adam, I guess, and it's like without their leader, intergang dips maybe. But they didn't tell us that, and they didn't show us that.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's just that whole section of it really disappointed me, and I thought it had a lot of potential.
Yeah, I did too.
But
any more thoughts on the movie?
no, honestly, like if a second one came out, I
I'd
would
go see it.
I would go
Yeah.
see it.
I was telling my dad, I was like, I don't know, I'm not at a spot where I'm like, I want to go see this in theaters again. But when it comes out on DVD or streaming or whatever,
It's probably going to be on HBO Max.
Oh, it'll be on HBO Max. Yeah, I'll be like, Dad, you want to watch this? You know, I'd watch it again when it comes to streaming. Yeah,
I might. Yeah, if I'm bored.
I might pull up the Dr. Fate scenes. You know,
like,
like, dude, watch Dr. Fate solo. This guy. Like,
I want to get a solo movie of Dr. Fate.
I was trying to give you eyes when Dr. Fate shit was happening. I was looking over at you like, are you seeing this shit? Like, or like when Hawkman changes his what do you call that? His Morning Star into an axe. I was like,
dude, yeah, he spins it real fast, and then
I was like, I looked over at you and I saw you kind of do like a.
yeah, there's a couple moments, bro, where I was just like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but I do. I like the JSA. Chris, you
Welcome back to Chris's Cryptid Corner. I'm your host, Chris. This week,
yeah, what you got for me?
I ain't gonna lie, I was struggling to find something this week.
Yeah.
At first,
Did you look up what that letter wrote in for us?
Oh, piss! No.
I was struggling to find something. We just got a listener. In fact, it's the listener that made us a subreddit. And then you're like, I can't figure it out, man. I can't crack the code on this one.
No, I didn't even think about that.
I was like, oh, piss.
Oh, shit. Well, I was big braining at work. I mean, which also, I got so much to tell you about what you've been thinking about.
Yeah.
But no, so I wanted to do something a little more supernatural just because I have been leaning more towards like aliens and
I
like,
hope what they wrote in is like, it's a ghost. And you're like, I want something a
Hold
little
on,
more supernatural.
we gotta
take a peek at it. You've got to do that next week now.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, piss.
Oh, piss.
Let's see. What was that?
Let me see here. Take it back. Slow it down.
Easy off now.
Okay.
It was the Hodag.
The Hodag.
So, make a note in your phone or something.
Yeah, Hodag next week. That's what it is. My apologies.
Sorry, Black Pebbles. Damn.
Whoops. But anyways, well, I found a
Swing
cool
and a
one.
miss.
Yeah, I found a cool one. And it is a Japanese cryptid.
Yeah.
Called it's an onomatopoeia, but it looks like it's spelled like teke teke, like it's Teketeke.
Taki.
But it says it's the onomatopoeia of the sound of her walking on her hands.
Ew. So it's like teka 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 teka.
But I'll explain why.
Yeah.
So the teke-teke, the whole, the urban legend behind it is it's this girl who, some say it was a suicide, some say it was a tragic accident.
Yeah.
But she, it was just this girl who fell on a railroad and was split in half by a train.
Yeah.
And, people say that, if you're ever passing a railroad or something like that, and they say if you hear the story of Teke in 3 days, you will see her either in a dream, out on the street, in the corner of your eye, somewhere. But there is ways.
The Japanese love their deadlines on horror
they
stuff.
They do, man. They do.
I figure The Ring is a Japanese
yeah.
horror movie.
Yeah, so it says right here, according to the legend, 3 days after you hear this, you'll see the ghost of the woman, everything like that. And, the only way you can escape her or, get her to stop following you, because if she follows you and she gets you, and it says here that she can go up to 150 kilometers per hour, or kilometers, and I converted it. I converted it 2 miles per hour. It is 93.2 miles per hour.
She is a
she
cheetah.
has no legs, bro. She's doing that shit on her hands.
Damn.
But if she catches you, she has a scythe, and she'll ask you, where are my legs? And she'll ask you a series of questions.
Yeah.
And if you don't answer these questions correctly, she'll kill you.
She'll cut you down.
Yeah, she'll cut you down. She'll cut you in half. and it says, and I have these series of questions
yeah.
because we both know this story now. So in 3 days,
we're going to get asked these questions.
In theory, we should see her.
Yeah.
So, and it says, you can try to outrun her, but...
And we live near railroad tracks.
That makes me really uncomfortable. Stop.
Cut it out.
Yeah. I'm looking around.
Yeah.
But so, it says she'll ask you a riddle either in a dream or on a mysterious phone call. Some have reported.
Yeah.
The only way to escape death...
7 days.
Stop. The only way to escape death is to answer her questions in exactly the right way.
Answer these riddles 3.
She'll ask you, do you need your legs? And you must reply, I need them right now. Then she will ask, who told you my story? And you must reply, Kashima Riko.
Hold on. Kashima
Riko. R-E-I-K-O.
Okay. Kashima Riko.
Ka, meaning in mask. She, as in death. Ma, as in demon. Ray, as in ghost. And then Ko, as in accident. If you answer her riddles without mistake, she'll let you live. She'll let you walk away.
So I'm using my legs right now.
Yeah. Do you need your legs?
Yes.
No.
I need them right now.
I need them right now. And then she goes, who told you my story? And
Kashima Riko.
Kashima Riko.
So there's 2 questions.
Yeah, she'll ask you two questions. Let me...
I don't know why, but I was anticipating a 3rd question. Oh, it was the 3 days, that's why.
Yeah, the 3 days. Let me see here. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this correctly. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't want to waffle the pronunciation and be like, slunk.
If I get fucking killed off a technicality, I'm going to be livid.
I'll tell you what, I will be pretty peeved.
Pronunciation.
Kashima Reiko.
Raiko.
Good.
Kashima Raiko.
Kashima Raiko. Good looking out,
Yeah, dude.
Google. Yeah.
Kashima Raiko.
Kashima Raiko.
Everyone needs to write that down because anyone who listens to this,
Yeah.
she's going to be busy.
Yeah.
She's going to be putting in some work, bro. I don't like how we got so fucking dark in here.
Yeah. Kevin.
But it says here that she will. It's just there's nothing that necessarily causes her to be there. It's just she will be walking or crawling around railroads, just in urban areas.
Yeah.
And there's just no way to escape her. And some say that she's doing this out of rage, because nobody helped her.
Right.
When she was dying.
Yeah.
Or other people say that she is just full. I think it was like
She's just bitter.
full of rage, and she just wants to kill everybody, as much as she can, and it's just the bad spirit. She died in an untimely
bad juju.
untimely manner, and it's just a freak
Unfinished business
accident.
in sorts.
But I don't know, like I
Kashima Reiko. Wasn't it Reiko?
it is
Or Raiko.
Kashima Raiko. Kashima Raiko.
Just devote that to memory.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell you my social, but like Kashima Raiko. Like
That's
the
I
back of
got
my
it.
hand.
Yeah, gun to my head, gun to my balls.
I would try to remember each pronunciation of what the breakdown of the word itself. So I'll go over it one more time. Ka as in mask, she as in death, Ma as in demon,
Kashima.
Rai as in ghost,
Right.
and then Ko as in accident.
Ko.
Read it back to me. No. I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, I'm not, like, I was not prepared to study for a
I can
quiz
say
here.
Kashima Raiko, but if she asks, all right,
what's that mean?
Yeah, break this one down slim.
Yeah.
What's it mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just
hit me with the dictionary definition of these.
Can you just chop
take
from the knees
legs.
down?
Yeah.
Like, I just come on. Like, I gotta
keep the wiener. Like,
have it, bro.
yeah, I can pipe with no legs. If I can't pipe, put me down.
Yeah.
Like a fucking racehorse right on the track.
But I mean, we'll have to put a picture of Take It in there because like it is quite hard.
We say that literally every week. We're gonna put a picture of this thing on there. And I've never once
Hey man,
put a picture up.
hey man, we got to. But yeah, her appearance is just a ghost who appears. A lot of them are women. Say there has been a report of one man, but that's like kind of unheard of. They say the Take It is a woman.
Oh. I thought you were talking about victims. I was like, oh, dude, we're safe. Last I checked, I'm solid.
I might have to double check. It says that she has no lower half. She, runs about on her arms, creating that take it sound.
Yeah.
And she just carries a bloody scythe with her. But it says like as she crawls around,
Where's she keep it?
She carries it in her hand. She's basically army crawling,
running on her knucks.
She army crawls.
at 90 mile an hour.
That's what it says.
I was picturing her on her knuckles.
I imagine when she gets up to that speed, she can, but I don't
That's
imagine.
terrifying.
I don't imagine she's at
shit
90.
crawling at me? No.
Checking on the fucking table, bro. Sullivan's gonna be on guard duty tonight.
Yeah, Sullivan's gonna fucking lick your foot, and you're like,
I'm just. I need them now. That shit isn't right. Go. I'm shitting on myself.
You're just pissing and shitting like a damn trapped animal. Yeah, you're like a fucking raccoon in a trap. You're growling and shitting.
But I mean, I don't know. Like just the picture of it. Like imagine just.
Show me the picture. Show me the picture. Turn that screen around at me. Turn it back. Turn it back. Turn it back. I don't like it. Turn it back.
Dude, that's scary,
yeah,
isn't
spooky,
it?
Yeah,
That's
turn it back.
But imagine just like, bro. Imagine letting the dogs out.
Ooh, and that's, you go let them in.
Whiskey is, I mean, just
carrying on,
telling you
like,
she's got to go. So you go downstairs, right? You open up the door, and then you just see on the end of the street, right, for those, on the other side,
where the tracks are.
Tracks are. You see her slowly,
yeah,
and then just slowly starts to stand
rear
up a little
like
bit,
a meerkat. Yeah,
and then just running. Dude, fuck the dogs. I'm closing the door. I'm locking it, bro. I need my legs. I need them.
Yeah, those dogs are fucked. I'm sorry.
But it doesn't say she attacks dogs, so maybe they'll be okay.
They can't answer the questions.
That's true. That is true.
So,
but I mean, I thought that was a super
hey, you know what? Good find, buddy.
Creepy urban legend.
Yeah.
And the best part, I know what I'm doing next week.
First time in a long time.
No, but definitely let us know what you think in the Simply One mailbag of that cryptid if you found it as spooky as we did, or as I did. Dude. Like
that was spooky.
It gave me a little bit of bumps. We also have it really dark in here and just have this candle.
Yeah, we like have set ourselves up for creeps.
I didn't know that was you at first, and that genuinely scared the piss out of me. I was like, "What the fuck was that?"
We're done. We're done. All right, now what you thinking about, Chris?
Dude, I gotta get this off my chest, bro. I was at work today.
Clog the toilet at work.
No, even worse, bro. I know she doesn't listen to the podcast, so I know I'll be able to get away with it. But if you are listening to it,
my apologies,
darling. I'm so sorry that you had to find out this way. Fucking, I'm sitting there, right? I'm on the register, just typing. And I just get hardcore bubble gut.
My crop dust.
My stomach's.
Yeah.
Looking around, no one's buying me. Lift up a little bit.
Let one go. Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
Here comes an associate. Oh. We'll have to cut that.
Yeah. Here comes an associate. Give me a real clean an associate.
Here comes an associate, and we'll call her Margaret.
Yeah.
But Margaret comes whipping around the corner, and she's like getting in the drawer right next to me, and she's like bending over trying to get in it, and it's like eye level with my ass.
Yeah, she's in it.
And she goes, "You smell that?" I'm like, I mean, I am sweating on this computer. I'm like, no. What do you mean? She goes, she's like looking in the trash. She goes, no. Something stinks. And I was just like, I don't know. Like a guest came in here and they could have been them. Like they could have farted or something. I don't know. Maybe they just stunk. She goes, probably. It went away now. So it could have been right. And I was like, could have been, man. But I accidentally cropped. That's like this sweet woman, and like I did that to her.
Yeah.
And like I got to live with that.
Yeah. Like she put her face in it. And you're like, no, but it's always how it works. No. Like at work, you're like, all right, there's nobody around. And then someone just comes out of the corner.
And like out of the blue.
Hey, what you doing over here? And you're like, fuck, don't come over here. Don't come over here.
Don't.
And just, and then they always reek. And,
dude,
and
you're just sitting in it. You're
it stinks. They can smell that it stinks. Yeah,
and they're just trying.
Like she was even bold enough to say it stinks, but like half the time they don't. So then you both just have to stand there and pretend like it doesn't smell like shit.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I don't know, man. Pretty weird stuff around here, huh? Maybe we should check the vents.
You better stop looking around like that. You got yourself willied out, and now you're giving me the willies every time you look into the dark. I'm like, don't fucking look how dark it is over there, dude.
No, I'm not gonna. Look. We gotta wrap this up, bro. Yeah, turn that light on. All right, we'll be okay. Dude, I scared the piss out of him. This one was scary. This one was a scary one. I don't like doing that. I ain't doing that one no more, bro.
All right. You gotta ask me now.
But yeah, what you been thinking about?
So I played through the Modern Warfare 2 campaign.
Yeah, you were telling me a little bit about it.
I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's got a lot of good action set pieces in it. Yeah. It had like a movie level plot to it. Good. Know? And like the cutscenes were pretty solid. Did you play the campaign on the first? Well, the first of the
original MW2. No, I did for MW3.
Yeah.
MW3, Black Ops 2. A little bit on Black Ops 3, but I stopped. And then Black Ops 4, I don't even think I ever got.
Black Ops 4 didn't have a campaign even.
No.
But I love what they did with the concept of Modern Warfare itself. Not like the game, but the idea of war in the modern era. Because they include things like PMCs, mercenaries, and like the cartels. Yeah. And like you play as Mexican Special Forces, where like the cartels are working with terrorist groups, and it's kind of very intricate. Of like, this isn't just the U.S. military. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like it's Modern Warfare.
I do like. I will say from. I think it did probably start in Black Ops 2, just very futuristic. Like tech, because you had Black Ops 1, which was like based in like what?
The Cold War.
The Cold War.
Yeah.
And then it jumps to BO2 and you're in 2025.
Yeah.
And then from there, they just kind of kept advancing.
Yeah.
And it hit a point where it just wasn't enjoyable anymore, but it is nice to kind of take a step back and be like, okay, this is just current time.
Like there's a level in this Modern Warfare that I think is similar to I think maybe the first Modern Warfare, like the original first Modern Warfare campaign. Bum, 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 bum. That's Battlefield. But you play as a gunner on an AC-130, which is like, the flying fortress. You're way up in the sky, and you're using infrared to see people, and you're just obliterating people. Just and like it's super unemotional. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're so detached. You're way up in the sky. You're using infrared to see them, you know, and you're just hitting good hit, target eliminated. You know what I mean? And it's like, I just killed like 40 people, and that's part of modern war. Is like, how far away can we make the person pulling the trigger from the person that gets hit, And it's like, oh man, it's kind of cold and fucked up,
It's just the kind of world we live in, baby.
Right. But no, I did. It was really short and sweet. It could have been a little bit longer. It was probably like 5 or 6 hours, maybe. It had a nice bit of variety, and types of levels, some stealth, some high action, set pieces, things like that. But I think it was definitely worthy of the name, considering how like highly regarded the original Modern Warfare 2 campaign is. And I've just started to dip my toe into the multiplayer, and I had like a 4-hour session with a buddy. Yeah. And I really enjoyed myself. I mean, I haven't played COD since the last Modern Warfare that they made. Okay. And I enjoyed that for a while. And yeah, this seems pretty fun. I do think it's going to run into what I always run into, where it's like, all right,
it does feel repetitive after a certain point. Yeah. Like even when we play like stuff like Apex, like after a while I am like, okay. Like I'm ready to get off this and do something else. Yeah. I feel like you and I both have a big appreciation for survival games.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've been playing a lot of Long Dark in our free time. Yeah. Yeah. We're doing really well.
We are.
I just saw you look at the clock. You're like, do we have time to play today?
Actually, I was McRib's back, and I was going to see if I had enough time to DoorDash it, but I don't think I do. I think they closed. Yeah, the McRib's back, and here's what I've been thinking about. Yeah,
the McRib.
You, in fact, told me the McRib was back. Yeah, and I was upset that you did not tell me when you found out.
Yeah.
Last time I heard that the McRib was back. Let me say this. Let me tell this.
Yeah.
Last time I found out there was the McRib was back, I pulled up, grabbed
I was with you, yeah.
and we drove to McDonald's. And I pulled up. I mean, we're blasting some.
And you were in your truck, which was just
at the time
beater.
I drove a Ford Explorer
that I think lost its muffler.
Yeah, and it was so loud. And I mean, I pulled up, rolled down the window, was banging on the side, and was just like, "You already know why I'm here." And they're like, "What can I get you?" And I was like, "Let me get 2 McRibs."
And he's like,
"Give me one moment."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" And then it was this long silence, and then he came back, and we don't have the McRib. And I remember I was just, no way, and just slam my foot on the pedal and
got out of there.
Got the hell out of there.
I'm like, I'm still hungry. Like,
we were not having McDonald's, dude.
No.
I was told the McRib, and I was lied to.
Yeah.
But now the McRib is in fact back, and you didn't tell me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I told you, I figured you had an alarm on your phone.
No.
That McRib comes back, and you get the fucking social media alert, But, well.
That's what I've been thinking about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've been thinking about.
You'll think of it when we stop recording.
Probably.
So, again, we want to thank you guys so much for your attention and support. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a great review. Tell your friends about it. Make sure you share us on social media. That's a big help. Yeah. Especially, we did get a Facebook group put together.
Yeah.
So, the Facebook page that we've always been directing you guys to, as soon as you join that, you should get an automatic invite to the Facebook group. And it's just a place for you guys to talk amongst yourselves or communicate ideas to us. In fact, like I mentioned, Black Pebbles, who wrote in a couple weeks ago, actually went ahead and started a subreddit since we said we had no idea how to even do that. Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll check it out. I will check it out.
They linked to it on that Facebook group. So, anybody that joins there can see the subreddit and jump in on that. So.
I'm so bad at Facebook. I have to get in that. Like I haven't. I just don't get on Facebook.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I do more as Simply Whelmed than I do as me. But, no, so when you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you're listening to us on, Google Podcasts, whatever, make sure you're liking, following, subscribing, whatever their feature is.
It always means a lot to us.
Yeah, it helps us a lot, and it helps so that you guys get notified when we post new stuff. Like, for example, we just posted a weird little bonus episode of Morgan's.
Yeah, Morgan's new podcast.
Yeah, a couple of creeps where she's going to talk about all things creepy. So if you guys didn't listen to that, check that out.
Yeah.
Those episodes will not be posted regularly on this feed.
She's going to have her own feed.
But we'll make sure to try and communicate when those are coming out as best we can.
Yeah.
It would mean a lot to her to check that out.
Oh, yeah.
We're both in that episode, so it'd mean a lot to us,
yeah,
too.
Right. You get the best of both worlds, something new, as well as you get to still see our lovely voices. Or hear
see our voices.
The shit bumps.
Shit bumps. Yeah, so, like I said, if you're already a member, you'll be in there on the Facebook group. You'll get all the notifications there. There's a subreddit. And, all very cool things that I'd encourage you to go check out and just be civil with each other.
No, of course.
The internet's always kind of a hostile place sometimes, so definitely try and be
I just
peaceful.
want, when people think of Simply One Podcast, I just want to think of like really
wholesome,
really good dick jokes.
Yeah.
Like that's what
That's
I want.
That's what I want.
I want someone to,
I want to read
that
advertisers.
I want to read that and just kind of read it and get one of these numbers.
Yeah.
That was good.
So, no, I do. I hope to get a good back and forth between us and listeners. So, any avenue that we can do that through, just let us know what would be the best way.
Yeah.
Chris, if people want to get in touch with us, give us some feedback. How do they do that?
Of course. You'd always be able to, take a look at us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and now subreddit at Simply Whelmed Podcast. You can take a look at our Twitter handle, which is Whelmed_Simply, or of course you can always leave us an email with any suggestions, cryptids, ideas, anything like that. Even if you just want to shoot the shit and pop a lawn chair and talk, you can always send us an email at simplywhelmedmailbag@gmail.com.
That's right. So next week we are going to be talking about Black Panther.
Yes.
I'm super excited for that. Wakanda Forever looks phenomenal.
It does. It really does.
Every time we get to see that trailer, we're losers. We're always like, goosebumps.
Dude, and just the soundtrack gets me so excited. That's the other thing I didn't like about Black Adam is the soundtrack.
The music was pretty.
I didn't like it. They were pretty pushy with putting Kanye in there, though.
Yeah,
I saw that. I heard that. And I was like, ooh. Tough play.
Yeah, hindsight, if they'd only been told.
You need to quit bouncing your feet like that, son. You're scaring the piss out of me.
So, yeah, I've got really high hopes. Don't miss out on that episode. I'm regardless of what happens, I think we'll be.
Yeah,
I don't see it being bad.
I think that's going to be a 3-hour episode, dude. We're going to go in that bitch hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to the theater. I'm going to have to see it twice. Once,
Yeah.
and then I want to go again and take a notebook.
Yeah.
I think I'd like that.
Yeah. So that's the end of the show, Chris. Tell everybody bye.
Goodbye, and Kashima Riko. Remember that.
Raiko.
Raiko. Kashima Raiko. I'm so fucked up. I'm not going to make it, bro. This is Chris signing off.